Frank does a whine. All right, let's do this. Hey there, welcome to New Game Plus. I'm Insomnia Bob. In the channel with me today are Jera
Yo.
and two randos, and they're playing some World of Warcraft Classic. Well, I'm going to play this VR shit because I'm tired of Warcraft.
Randos, implying they aren't people in my guild.
Yeah, I just already immediately forgot their names. Easy and Vin Diesel.
Then do your best Vin Diesel voice.
Great, perfect.
Flawless.
Fucking nailed it. Solid comment.
I'm Vin Diesel. I like Dungeons and Dragons.
Have you guys seen my Totally Not Conan movie?
Does he have a Conan movie? All I've seen him is Space Conan, aka fucking Riddick. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna play some Robo Recall, and if you got anything to say it in the chat. Yay. So tell me about what's going on in the classic.
Which chat are you in so I can monitor it since your ass isn't?
Yeah, I'm in the YouTube chat.
The YouTube chat. Okay, let me pop that open.
A little screen for it so that I can see it actually.
The Game Plus stream live Robo Recall. There we go. I'll mute you. There we go. All right, monitoring. Okie dokie. So WoW Classic's out, and it's been a blast so far. I would say. You guys agree?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
We've been talking about it pretty much nonstop since we started playing. Like why it's fun, because there's kind of this weird mystique to the whole thing. Because it's like we've all been playing fucking retail for. I think it's been like post Classic was after Cataclysm released, right? And that was like 10 fucking years ago, I think. Like WoW Classic as we knew it only existed for like 4 years or so.
I think you know. Have a nice recall.
Well, originally you were like, man, football club, so we're not gonna play the shit. Stupid.
I did. I was like, everyone who's super interested in WoW Classic, they've all got big fucking nerdy nostalgia goggles on, and I think that they go pee-pee in their diaper because they can't accept that WoW has changed, and it's objectively better now. That being said, I was talking with my girlfriend, and she was like, it's really interesting to see this WoW Classic stuff going on, and I was like,
it's time.
Yeah? And she was like, yeah, like it's like this whole world that I never got to see when I started playing Warcraft, and I was like, you need to stop where you're going right now. And she's like, yeah, I'd really love to like see that world with you, and I was like, yeah?
And you were like, I could show you the world.
Yeah, right.
Like, undescribable feeling.
She's a Norse god.
It's unfortunate that they never added magic carpets. Oh, actually, no, they did add magic carpets in Classic. They're Burning Crusade, weren't they? Yeah. So.
They were a flying mount. So yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they were not a 2-passenger mount. So like, which I feel fucking missed opportunity. Like, right?
Weren't they in Wrath? Because the Frost ones.
They were the Frost ones, but I swear, like, because everyone was like really annoyed that like engineering got a flying mount, but then tailoring got one as well because they got the magic carpets. Remember. But anyway, so in talking with her, I started to remember like all of the things that I really enjoyed about WoW back before it became the nightmare that is retail these days.
The nightmare.
The nightmare. And I was like, fuck it. I'll give it a month. I'll see what it does. If I have fun, I'll show it to Lindsay, and it'll be great. But I didn't expect anyone else to come join me. I didn't expect like any of the other guys to be playing it. So, and yet, I found that as I was playing it and describing like my experiences in Discord, first Bruce, then Jeff, and then Maggart all bought a subscription to come join me, and I was like, oh wow, the gang's getting back together. Then lo and behold, I look over and Maggart tells me that Easy and Vin are playing. So is our friend Zerkloth. And then, not only that, people from the Penny Arcade Alliance, my original fucking server, were coming out of the woodwork to play as well. And I was like, what? This is some serious shit right now. Like, we got people I haven't seen in 15 years coming back to Warcraft for this thing.
So
this is
basically the big draw to Warcraft that we always discuss, which is, it's not really so much about the gameplay, it's about the community.
Yes.
And now your community came back, so you're on board.
Basically, like, I was on board before the community came back, but that won over other people, was the community coming back.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you were the first one in, and then everyone else was like, oh, yay, this is happening.
I mean, yeah, I think these guys over here, like, they decided to come back, like, on their own. But, like, definitely me coming back was the catalyst for, Bruce, Jeff, and Maggart coming back. And so there's that. That's probably one part of the success. But a lot of it is just like kind of reveling in how far the game has come, but also in analyzing what the game has lost. Like, what did it give up for its convenience features? What have we gained from all this? Which is interesting. Like, because like while there are lots of quality of life changes that have happened as Warcraft has like progressed over the years, there's also a lot of things that have gotten worse. Like, the nature of the grind changed, and it changed in what is typically viewed as a bad way. Namely, like, instead of grinding to get better gear, which was the thrust of WoW Classic, the grind became more about just grinding and consuming your time with the mechanics like the artifact power that was introduced in Legion, and now the Heart of Azeroth that was introduced in Battle for Azeroth. It's literally just an item that numerically increases in power the more that you play.
Yeah, so they time-gated everything a lot more obviously.
Yes, it's the blatantness of it is really what's changed. Like, they did a much better job of hiding the time gate back then. And also, the time gate existed for different reasons back then. I guess the main reason still exists, which is time gating has to happen because they can only produce new content so fast, right?
Yeah, I mean, and people will consume it immediately if it's not time gated.
Exactly.
They don't want people coming back, or not coming back. Yeah. They don't want people only showing up for a month.
Yeah, and then leaving again.
Yeah,
which they will. You've seen how your average Warcraft player consumes content. They will fucking plow through it at the speed of light if you let them. So obviously, like, they want people to stick around and keep the game running and keep food on the tables of the developers and whatnot. But I don't know, like, it's the addition of all the little fiddly bits over the years that have kind of lost the fans' graces. Like, things like a drastic increase in the number of $10 premium mounts in the store. Like, before Battle for Azeroth, they would release one store mount per expansion. Do you know how many they've released in Battle for Azeroth?
How many?
6.
Literally 6 times as much of this cosmetic money-grubbing bullshit has happened in Battle for Azeroth. So it's like, okay, so you guys are obviously getting more money off of these sorts of things.
Well,
like,
at that point, is the time gating even a thing they really should need? Like,
I mean,
they just produce more repeatable content that's actually fun instead of just shenanigans horseshit?
No, not really. Well, what's fucked up is they really stumbled upon something really clever back in Legion with the world quests. That was a really good way to mask the time gate, and it was a really good replacement for the old traditional rep grind, because starting back in Burning Crusade, they introduced the repeatable rep grind quests. The daily quest is what came back in Burning Crusade, because in Classic, they weren't daily quests, they were literally, all of them were turn-in days. So you farmed an item, you brought it back to a guy, you turned it in for as many as you had, and you got rep in exchange. In Burning Crusade, they introduced the daily quest, which is where you would pick up all your quests at a hub, fly out to the Ogre Mound or the Nether Drake Ledge or wherever the rep grind that you wanted to do was, and you would do your 5 or 6 quests that day, turn them in, and wait for the next day. It was new at the time, so it wasn't super jarring, but it quickly got old. Nobody really liked the Burning Crusade rep grind. Like, we liked the rewards we got from it, but we didn't like doing it. But that was kind of the norm up until Legion, when they introduced the world quests, which were really, really cool, because they changed each day. Like, functionally, they were similar to the old daily quests, but the fact that there was a much larger pool of them, they took place in different locations, they were voice acted, they had different and varying objectives, that kept it fresher for a lot longer.
And they were just a better product.
Yes, and a better way of delivering the limited content that they had. I don't know why that grew so tedious so fast, because I do believe that it was objectively better than the old way they did it, and I think it actually has a lot to do with the artifact power and the Heart of the Azeroth. I think for some reason, those things which are supposed to keep you coming back, keep you interested in it, completely turned me off of the grind. Just because, like, I guess because of the way it functions, you know there's inevitably going to be a catch-up mechanic, and so any effort you put in now is going to be wasted because someone else is going to be able to come in 2-3 months down the line and immediately get the progress that it took you 3 months to make in like a weekend or two.
Yeah.
So that feels bad right off the bat.
Yeah, bad feeling.
I think it only worked in Legion because the artifacts were so fucking cool. Like, for Paladins, I don't know if either of you guys played Paladins, but I knew that there had been whispers of the Ashbringer since Classic WoW, and the only version of it that you could get was the corrupted one out of Naxxramas, and I think like 1 or 2 motherfuckers were getting that per server because of how hard it was to get. It was a legendary weapon. Everybody wanted one.
And everybody wanted Frostmourne.
Everybody wanted Frostmourne. So when you were finally able to get the 2 Frostmourne swords as a Death Knight, when you were finally able to get the Ashbringer as a Paladin, or Atiesh as a fucking, I guess you didn't actually get.
No,
you
didn't get. Did you get
No, that's right, because you could get Atiesh back in the day, right?
Yep.
Like in Burning Crusade.
Very few people got that one.
It was very, very hard to get.
I've literally never seen it.
Yeah, well, there was not Atiesh. There was a different cool arcane stick that talked to you and was your very best friend. Yeah, Aluneth. Totally not Atiesh.
This is a Firelines one, right?
No, that was the arcane one, I thought.
No, I mean, it was associated with the Firelines raid. Oh, okay.
No,
I'm missing it. Like the first Archmage of Dalaran or whatever.
But like all these really cool weapons, most of them had very strong ties to the lore, and like the Scythe of Elune. Man, how excited was I when they added that, because I was obsessed with.
Hello?
Just dropped off the face of the
think we
planet.
lost
You got too hyped.
Oh,
so hyped his mic exploded.
Did my fucking mic die?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Scythe of Elune was this crazy rare. There was all this spooky lore around it. Nobody knew if it actually existed, and it became like kind of like the hunt for it became this pseudo legend. It was one of the original like secrets of Warcraft. Everyone was like, can you actually obtain it? Does it exist in game, or is it just like this mysterious thing? So when that finally became attainable in game, people were hype as fuck about that. So I think the reason that this numerically increasing stat stick worked in Legion was because of the artifacts, and I think that's the only reason that it worked. Like, it was like, yeah, of course my artifacts should keep getting more powerful. That's the coolest thing. So, but like, when it was replaced with this like nondescript shiny rock necklace in the next expansion, and it's like, yeah, your rock necklace gets more powerful when you put more rock points into it, and you get more rock points every week, and it's like, I'm tired of you and your fucking rocks. How how sick are you two of hearing the word Azurite in the new expansion?
Listen here,
Yeah.
Magni is now a magnificent rock. Don't.
Okay,
The King of Diamonds has been made a pawn.
yeah. It would be one thing if I was just palling around with Magni, but it's literally just Magni being like, "Oh, you fucking weapon! Somebody over there's got some rocks. Go whip their ass and bring me the rocks."
So basically, they turned you into a base head.
I mean, basically, like, well, Magni's the base head, and you're getting all the fucking base for him.
So, personally, I mean, I think that there are probably some positive elements of the Azurite system, and like the traits on armor and stuff like that.
Azurite armor is not one of them.
Like buried below the surface, like way down there, like way the fuck down there. But I'm super biased because I was like, when they got rid of class sets in like raids and stuff, like I was completely against that idea.
I'm still against it. I'm mad as hell about it.
Cause like, I mean, I think there's a lot to be said for the fact that like you have a class-specific armor set that like not only looks unique for your character, that shows that like, hey, I went and accomplished this like great feat or whatever, but also does something unique for your gameplay.
Yeah, they only changed that so they didn't have to make so many armor sets.
Yeah, like it's just another example of like shortcuts, and this really started like 1 or 2 years ago, like right around the time the layoffs started. I think they're like behind the scenes at Blizzard, something happened. Some board of director schmuck moved in, and he's like, "All right, so these are all the ways we're gonna start fucking the players over, fucking the devs over."
Overrun.
Yeah. The most obnoxious example of this was definitely the layoffs this last year, where it was like, Blizzard has had its most profitable year on record, and we're laying everyone off. It's like, oh my god, you guys really have sold your souls to the devil, haven't you?
It's an achievement.
It feels bad. Like, yeah, so it's one of the reasons why, like, I have a fear, like, even under my enjoyment of WoW Classic, because obviously, like, pie in the sky, fucking, like, if you wanted to be like, yeah, WoW Classic, they're gonna remember all the things that made Warcraft great, and they're gonna change their design philosophy and start making things better again. No, they're fucking not. They absolutely will not. WoW retail is probably going to keep getting worse, if I had to guess. And that's not, like, there's nothing that we can really do to stop that, because the people who are making it worse are people with way, way more money than you or I, and they're pulling the strings behind the scenes. Like, I would love for them to learn the lessons, like, for the devs to learn good lessons from WoW Classic about the things that players like and the things that players used to like that WoW doesn't have anymore. But ultimately, the lesson they're probably going to learn from the game is, we can make money off of your nostalgia, so we're re-releasing Diablo 1.
I just beat Robo Recall.
Like, you beat the whole game?
Yeah, I was in a boss fight that entire conversation.
Excellent.
It was a good boss fight, too.
Pleased. Well, I got beat to death by water elementals. Who didn't even have the goddamn common courtesy to have attack animations. They just floated near me and beat me to death with their eyes.
You on the? Are you on the Twitch stream?
Huh? Oh, I'm not currently streaming on Twitch. Do you want me to boot it up?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. We're going to be talking about Warcraft all day, because I'm incongruously playing VR games while you're talking about Warcraft Classic.
That's a good point. Let me,
I'm like in this epic boss fight, and there's like fucking rockets and a million robots flying around. And I'm like, man, I should really probably be talking about this. And then, like, there's just no space to get a word in edgewise, because you're geeking out hardcore. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. Oh, well, whatever. No one watches this stream anyway.
I've got a lot to say.
You do? I'm glad you're having fun with that shit. I don't think I'm coming back, though. Actually, I know I'm not coming. And not because I don't think it would be fun. Oh, cool. Now I got automatic pistols. Sweet. The reason I'm not coming back is because I remember WoW Classic. Like, Classic. And I want to do that again.
That's what I thought too. But you never liked WoW to the same extent that me and Jeff did.
Well, also, and this again comes back to the big difference between your play experience and my play experience. You were in the PAA, and you were in, you know, your people came back. My people, I don't even know their fucking names. Like, because this was pre TeamSpeak, this was pre Discord. There was no way to really long term communicate with people. So, like, yeah, like, I don't even know who those fucking dudes are, for real.
Well, it was interesting. We were talking a little bit about this yesterday as well, like how Discord has kind of changed the landscape quite a bit. Because, it was kind of a pain in the ass to log into TeamSpeak and Trila back then. The sound quality wasn't great. People didn't always want to talk. Microphones were worse back then, so there was a lot of horrid noise. This fucking pool that I'm in is terrible, and I need to get out of it as fast as possible. I thought I would take a shortcut through this, like, water elemental infested pool, but it turns out these water elementals are robust as fuck, and they're giving me a terrible time. Yeah, it was like, so, like, Ventrilo has really made it much, much easier to...
Discord, not Ventrilo.
Yeah, right. Discord has made it much, much easier to communicate and connect with your guildmates. I don't know how we ever forged anything resembling a friendship back in the days of TeamSpeak.
Well,
the program was fucking wretched.
Even before that, Ventrilo itself, actually, you know, and TeamSpeak and all of those really improved the deal. Like,
drastically.
All right, I need to figure out what game I'm going to play and restart this stream because I'm done with Robo Recall for right now. And also, I just realized it's starting.
Wow.
So I need to get
so I've been in Thousand Needles for 5 minutes and I've died 3 times. Thousand Needles fucking sucks, guys.
All right, if anyone's watching, which no, they aren't, but if you were or had been, this is New Game Plus. We'll be back momentarily. Please stand by.
I'm already back over on the other thing. I can do the toss now, though, which is welcome to